Zombie apocalypse.
What is going on, everybody? Flawless, welcome to a brand new video, and today I am going to be doing Reinhardt and my noob series guide. And pretty much I'm going to tell you guys how I play with Reinhardt, pretty much when I started and how I'm playing now, and just going to give you guys some very basic tips, because I'm going to leave the very good tips all the way either at the end of the video, or you guys can catch my Masters video coming very soon. I am very behind. I always say I'm always behind on the Master series, but I'm just trying to get the best possible gameplay I can get with all these heroes and pretty much showcase them in their best way. So this gameplay was actually fairly good in my opinion. Basically, your job as a Reinhardt is keep your team safe. Your job is to keep that stupid barrier up the entire freaking time. Now, a lot of Reinhardts, what they tend to do is that they get extremely aggressive. So you guys will see in this gameplay, I'm actually facing another Reinhardt, and he is getting extremely aggressive all the time. He thinks that just because he has 500 health, he is able to take down a lot of people. He's not. So he does quite a bit of damage with his hammer, but it's leaving you and your team exposed to get shot by anything else. And let's face it, Reinhardt is a huge ass target, so anybody can hit him with pretty much anything. And Moira is a really big counter to Reinhardt in a way, because when she shoots that ball, which I don't play Moira, that's why I don't really know the name of the ability, but when she shoots that ball that does damage to you, that is a big threat. And you guys will see in this gameplay as well that there's a Moira, and that she does quite a bit of damage to me, and I'm constantly requesting for healing, because it goes right through my shield and it always goes behind me. And since I'm always on the front line, I am that main target. I am that target that they want to take out and get to my teammates. I try and do the best job I possibly can. And obviously, one thing you got to do with Reinhardt is there is moments where you do have to be aggressive, and you got to back up your team. Also, with your abilities, you got to know exactly when to be aggressive. So sometimes you may start to panic because your shield is about to break. Well, what a lot of people do is when there's a Bastion on the other side and he doesn't have a shield, what you tend to do, what most common Reinhardt players tend to do, is actually put your shield down and absorb all that damage. That is wrong. You're not supposed to absorb all the damage from Bastion, because let's face it, Bastion can just reload and continue shooting at you when he's on turret mode. So why are you letting your shield go down, potentially wasting another like 5 to 6 seconds of precious time? Tell your team to move away and not get into contact, or maybe you guys have an Orisa, which can help you with that Bastion, and that's gonna make a big deal. So the play, that's what you have to do. You gotta play defense, but when you can't really absorb a lot of damage at one time, especially because you're trying to protect your team. But the good thing is you can just tell your team. That's where communication comes in hand very well, and that's where you have to make the right choices. Sometimes you have to die. That's the job of Reinhardt sometimes, where you have to save your team and you gotta die. More than less, you gotta stay alive. You gotta keep your team safe, and you gotta provide that shield. That's pretty much the Reinhardt's job. There is moments where you gotta be aggressive, like I mentioned, but you as a Reinhardt player have to know when you can afford to be aggressive and take in that extra damage, considering that it's going to take a lot of resources for your healer to get you back. So in this gameplay as well, I get to block the Pharah ultimate for my team. They all get under my shield, and that's what I'm supposed to do. I got to keep them safe. I did not try and take out the Pharah with my flame strike. I did not try and do that. I did not try and do any of that. I also have a Bridget who's backing me up. There's that moment where I really wanted to try and land that fire strike on her. I couldn't. I couldn't get the shield off of me. I have to save my team. So one of the big things with Reinhardt, like I said, you got to keep your team safe. And this is a player where you don't necessarily have to play insanely aggressive. Only aggressive when it's needed and when your team is just really slacking. But more than less, you're the shield. You got to be defensive. You got to be very slow, and very few times you have to be aggressive. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, a like would be much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next upload.